This is the border of a nation on the edge. Here in the Moldovan town of Bazarabeaska, Ukraine is just meters away.
We feel like we're at war. We can't develop properly.
While there has long been a pro-Russian breakaway region in Moldova, it's the war next door in Ukraine that's really made this country a geopolitical battleground. Earlier this month, voters re-elected their pro-Western president and narrowly backed her plan to legally lock in Moldova's bid for European Union membership. The runoff was marred by a vote-buying scheme, bomb threats at overseas polling places, and reports of illegally organised voter transport from Russia. Here in the country's farthest corner, some don't expect much from the future.
Things will stay the same. I just don't know. They might even get worse.
But in the capital Chisinau, the mood is more upbeat, especially after incumbent President Maia Sandu won against her Russia-friendly challenger in November. It was past and present members of Moldova's diaspora, voters like Chef Emil Bojescu, who secured her victory.
I felt like I'm going to kiss everyone who made the vote in the favour of a better future.
After growing up in Soviet-era Moldova, Emil left for London and spent 13 years abroad before returning home to set up this now sought-after Mediterranean restaurant.
Europe, to me, is the only way to progress for Moldova. It's all about progress. It's all about being better, moving up. It just takes time. Moldova has always been like pendulating in between, that part, European, and the East. Yeah, Eastern, Russian influence and USSR.
And the split is still visible today. We drive across this small, divided nation of 2.5 million people to reach Gagauzia, a semi-autonomous region an hour and a half away from the capital. The roads here may be built with EU money, but roughly 95% of people in this part of the country voted against joining the EU last month and against the pro-Western president. The Romanian is Moldova's only official language. The signs here are in Russian. It's one of the poorest parts of one of the poorest countries in Europe. So this local amusement park, where we meet activist and park keeper Ivan Besarab, is a cherished treasure, though it's too cold for kids at this time of year. The site was funded by a fugitive billionaire with close ties to the Kremlin. And Ivan says people here don't want to turn their back on Moscow.
We are interested in working with Russia. We will work with Russia. We will need to look east or elsewhere. We will not divide people. We will not divide countries. We want to be neutral, as we have been until today. But we don't want the Europeans to force us into conflict with the Russians.
That idea that the pro-Western government is pushing militarily neutral Moldova toward war keeps cropping up here. And analyst Victoria Olari says it's also a favourite theme of malign actors online. In addition to arrests for attempted vote buying, she's seen Telegram chatbots offering people cash to post anti-government content, all linked to a Russian bank.
This is a deep fake with President Sandu saying that she is a Western puppet and that Moldova will follow the fate of Ukraine.
Though the Kremlin denies any involvement in election meddling, Victoria doesn't buy it. She says Moldova is fertile ground for foreign interference.
Part of the population of Moldova who is poor prefers some short-term incentives like money, like 50 euros or 100 euros to vote in a certain way, than to wait for the reforms to work and to wait until Moldova will become the part of European Union. Russia is exploiting this idea of bigot brother, especially in the context of this war in Ukraine, and people prefer not to scare the bear.
The capacity to hold free and fair elections is a key criteria for joining the EU. And international election observers have warned that while Moldovan authorities tried to clamp down on foreign influence, they also failed to offer a true level playing field for opposition candidates. We put that concern to the government.
Every report of international organizations aim of this report is to provide valuable recommendation for the authorities. We have the openness to assess, analyze and implement best practices from now on. Democracy is not something you just have it. You fight for it, you build it, you construct it, and you